fastest game on 2 feet. The North Florida Lacrosse Game of the Week. Now here's the voice of North Florida Lacrosse, Ray Carnicelli.
Carnicelli from Lax904.com, here with Coach John Galloway from the JV Dolphins. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having us out. Obviously, the calendar says 2017, but it doesn't feel like it, does it?
No, it's incredible how fast it's gone. We're already looking forward to February 3rd and getting our season going.
Yeah, so 2018 teams arriving on campus and working on the schedule. As far as recapping last year, before we start looking ahead, a 3-win team that had so much positive goodwill built, how does that happen?
Yeah, I think our guys were aware of the schedule. I think we wanted to make it difficult for them early in the year, and we knew that some of those games would be difficult to overcome, but I thought we knew we were getting better. You know, the scoring gap was closing, the opponents were becoming a little bit more like us, and I think that the guys knew if we just stuck to our fundamentals and we bought into the game plan that eventually we were going to get rewarded, and that's what happened at the end of the year. And albeit the positivity, I think we're still disappointed with the outcome, but we did get better as the year went on.
Last year when you came in as head coach, you laid out 3 goals: leading the country in shots, leading the country in ground balls, and being the most respected team on campus. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's very similar to what we did last year when we just redefined our goals. And our 3 goals now are always number 1 is going to be the most respected team on campus, but we've made those goals tangible. So academically, what that GPA is going to look like, what our community service is going to look like, the percentage of missed classes and missed assignments, what that looks like. So we're going to be able to measure that in a much more tangible way. Our second goal is always going to be the toughest team in the conference. And for us to do that, practice has to change. The way that we drill has to change. The contact in which we practice has to change. So I think the guys are well aware of that. We've made that very clear that if you're tough, you're probably going to find a way to play on our team in 2018. And then the final goal is more statistically motivated, and that comes on game day, is to lead the country in quality shots and 50-50 ground balls. So opposed to just throwing out random statistics that might be skewed based on the game.
So if Hunter Forbes is clearly winning a face-off,
he's not going to get the points. He'll still get in the stat sheet, and I'm sure he'll be happy, but we're looking at the ground balls where they're contested. And that really goes back to goal number 2 of being the toughest team in our conference. And then quality shots are really defined by what our coaching staff sees as that particular player and where he is on the field, and if he can finish those goals and if he doesn't practice. We're not going to ask an outside shooter to limit himself, but our interior Canadian guys and skilled guys inside, they know that outside 10, that's probably not in their wheelhouse. So we'll measure that as a coaching staff game by game, but I think our team will be very clear on those expectations going into the game.
Getting back to the on-campus stuff, what assistance or what plans you have in place to help these guys academically? Because the rigors of Division I athletics is strong, and with the conditioning and the scheduling, how are you going to help these guys overcome the challenges?
Yeah, we've created a new academic plan, and Coach Carnicelli is going to start that right away with the freshmen. So Coach is going to have weekly meetings with our freshmen to acclimate them, not only with their advisor, but also now with the coach, who knows how to closely monitor what they're doing and how sometimes kids can get around this. And we have an academic advisor. We've actually upgraded in that capacity. Andy Heston will be working with our team, and he has been incredible already. But now Coach Carnicelli is going to have weekly meetings with all of our young guys to make sure that they're on task. As for the returners, we're going to have at-risk groups and on what we call on-the-fence groups, so anybody that might be at risk. So we're really kind of extending our purview to make sure that even if guys are close to becoming on the edge of limiting us to achieve our 3.2 GPA goal, we're catching those issues before they become a problem.
Great. Talking about the staff, you mentioned Coach Carnicelli a couple of times. Talk to me about the changes in the staff and the guys coming back, and Coach Carnicelli as well.
Yeah, I think what we've done is identified what we're best at and what we can work on and put ourselves in a position to be more effective. So starting with Coach Andre as a graduate assistant this year, he was a guy that started the year playing and then had a couple of injuries to his head, and now he's coming back. A guy with a wealth of knowledge and experience here at JU and knowledge of the roster is going to be able to help assist us in practice and off the field with a lot of logistics. And Coach Keller, we've taken the coach away from Coach Keller's title and given him more of an operations role, where I think Coach Keller shines is his ability to market our program. Social media is part of recruiting at this point, and we've gotten a lot of compliments on our social media, but now we have to take that to the next level, and we're going to kind of put him in charge of getting Jacksonville Lacrosse out there nationwide and international. Coach Lible is back. He's going to be running the defense again. Him and I will come up with a lot of ideas, but Coach Lible is taking the charge on the defensive end this summer, really getting those guys together and trying to shore up that side of the ball. And Coach Carnicelli and I are going to work in a lot of different capacities. He's got tremendous experience with the face-off X and in between the lines. We're going to try to be much more creative, especially with the shot clock looming around the corner. We're going to try to be very innovative in what we do in between the lines from D to O and from O to D, and just improve our ability to put goals in the scoreboard when it's unsettled.
As far as roster size goes, do you have a maximum and minimum number in mind, or do you have an exact number?
Yeah, we were a little bit light, I thought, at the end of the year. We were around 43 at the end of the year, and that's a lot of attrition for the first-year coach. But we're going to hope to be around 50 to 52 this year. I think that's a better number for us in terms of injury prevention and being able to fill in holes if there are injuries. But our depth is an issue, and we have to address that. So we're bringing in 20 guys, 2 freshmen. We're hopefully to bring in at least one more. So that's exciting. And once that becomes official, I think we'll be able to really say, look at the whiteboard and say this is a group that we can really challenge and make competitive on a day-to-day basis.
Well, 6 of your 7 top point getters return. Mitchell Parker was number 7, and obviously he's not coming back. How do you feel about your ability to fill up the net, getting those good shots and capitalizing?
Yeah, I think we're cautiously optimistic about the offense. I mean, the guys coming back with a lot of game day experience, playing different positions. We had a lot of guys play both midfield and attack. I think we have a lot of hybrid players that can do both. So our biggest challenge right away is going to be able to identify where guys are playing. We don't want to move them around come springtime. So we're going to try to find them roles early on in the fall and get them really comfortable and confident in what they're doing. But I'll tell you, I think right now, on paper, we probably have 12 guys right now that we feel comfortable rolling out on game day. We just have to start to kind of limit that down, make sure we have the right guys out there, our top 9, and make sure that they're comfortable playing with each other come February.
Ben obviously has been a leader on this team, a high-performing leader on this team, just a really great quality kid. As far as the competition in the cage, your position, how do you feel like 2018 is going to stack up as far as the competition goal?
Yeah, I think if you look at our depth, at a point last fall, we had 1 goalie, and the competition is hard to have when you're injured. We're going to start this fall with 5 healthy goaltenders. That is going to allow for guys to really push each other. Ben will come in as the incumbent starter, of course, and a guy that people respect, more importantly than anything else. But at the same time, for Ben to get better, we need guys to push him. Adam Baker came on really strong last spring. We think he's a guy athletically in the clearing game that can really help us. And having a guy like Carnicelli's back, a Hopkins transfer, and the Goodwin brothers pushing behind, it's a group that, I hope that they work together, but I hope that they push one another. Obviously everybody has to earn their spot, and it's going to feel the same for Ben. After a season where I think he would probably even tell you himself he could have been a little bit better, and I'm sure he's already working on it.
This fall, the kids are showing up on campus this week. You've got some scrimmages, you've got the golf tournament, you've got some coaches clinic. Can you kind of just give us a quick recap of or preview of what's coming up in the next couple of months?
Yeah, September we're going to kind of acclimate everybody. We're going to make sure we get the freshmen in and figure out their roles. But come October, we're really going to start to get out there with our team. We're going to start with an alumni scrimmage, and that weekend's going to represent a lot. It's going to represent for us our official visit weekend, where we're bringing in all of our committed guys. Our ability to bring the JU friends and family in for a golf tournament to really honor last year's team and the seniors and what they accomplished. And then we're going to have a chance the next weekend to play against some other Division II and Division III teams and be a little bit organized. We're going to look and see what the 60-second shot clock looks like in those games, and see what an organized ride, organized clear, what that'll look like on game day against opponents that are very capable. And then that last week is going to be huge for us. The world's largest outdoor lacrosse party, we're doing again in bigger fashion. We have a lot of people already working on the event. We have a roster stocked with MLL All-Stars. So that game for us is going to be a huge test. So we're going to take that as our real kind of tune-up going into the winter and spring. On top of that, we're doing some coaching clinics in October, leading up to the MLL game. We're partnering up with the U.S. Lacrosse chapter here to get our games out. And we're going to be releasing our schedule early so we can start to generate some events of some of the big opponents we have coming down here into North Florida to play high-level Division I lacrosse this spring.
Speaking about your travels, congratulations on the semifinal run with the Rochester Rattlers. your travels around the country, what was the perception, the comments, the questions about Jacksonville University Lacrosse and the profile of the team?
Yeah, I think we live so much in our own bubble during the season that it was really encouraging for me and our coaching staff to be out on the road and guys to understand, some of the trials and tribulations, coaches that have been through it. And for us, I think to make the SoCon tournament, I think earned a lot of guys' respect. But at the same time, I think we're very aware of what needs to be done and the disappointments of last year. But you can tell people are talking about Jacksonville. I think we brought in our recruiting kind of scope. Definitely a lot of voices of Jacksonville hasn't been here before, but we need to be out there. We need to be out there scouring for talent. We're bringing in a huge freshman class, and we're bringing an even bigger 2018 class. So for us to be out on the road, seeing our guys, but also evaluating the next player to come in our program, it allows us to continue to expand Jacksonville Lacrosse brand and make sure people know that we're serious about making this a contender in the national landscape.
When you talk about the profile of the school, the university, tell me just briefly, we've talked about it before, President Cost and AD Ricker Gilbert, how important are they to the success and the feeling around the program?
Yeah, I think there's a testament to what happened this week. For the past 2 days, our entire athletic department has spent in retreat to talk about our core values and our vision for the program going forward. And you could see in the last 12 to 15 hours how serious they are about athletics here in Jacksonville. And that starts with President Cost. An alumnus of JU, a guy who played baseball here and understands the value of lacrosse and this demographic.
Being from West Genesee is a natural form.
Exactly. And he understands lacrosse is going to allow us to bring student athletes that are also high-end students. Guys from the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, the West Coast, and we're taking full advantage of his reins and giving us an opportunity to go out and market the university as a place that's evolving. I actually got giddy walking around campus yesterday, seeing the new dining hall, seeing the new branding of all the buildings, seeing the construction happening. Obviously, our building on the docket, we're number one on the athletics agenda right now for the next project. That gives you some serious confidence as to where this program is going and the commitment being made by upper level administration.
So when we get through the fall, come back in February, some high-profile games, especially at home.
Yeah.
And as far as the goals and expectations, minimum Southern Conference tournament?
Well, our expectations are going to be greater, obviously, and for us to reach the SoCon tournament, I think that would be a letdown for us to say that's our goal. We have expectations to be competitive, to win that thing. We're not going to drive to Richmond just to play. And if I was to say that, I think that would be sending the wrong message both to our staff and our players because we know we're capable of. It's a very tough conference. It was tough to make it last year, even though we thought we were pretty competitive. We need to take the next step, and we have a lot of pieces back to do so. So anything short of winning that thing, I think, would be a disappointment for us. And you have to be willing to accept that burden on your shoulders and tackle that challenge, go full ahead. So our guys are ready for that challenge and ready to accept it come next week.
So a message for the followers of Lax 904, Jacksonville University fans, how they can help, how they can get involved. What do you have to say to the Dolphin faithful?
Yeah, we need more people in North Florida to come out and support Jacksonville University, and our lacrosse program is committed to making you guys proud. And whatever we need to do that, call me, email me, we'll come to your practice. But we want you guys out there come February 3rd supporting these guys who want to represent you.
Coach, I can't wait for the fall activities. I especially can't wait for the spring. And thanks again for your openness and taking time with us.
Thank you, Rick.